So welcome back to Sprue Therapy and thank you for joining me. So today I just want to show you guys how I do my panel line washes. I have tried a couple of methods, but I find this by far the easiest method. So I use this Flory Models dark dirt wash, just because I find this isn't as dark as black. It's good for light and dark colours. So you may find that on sort of really light surfaces it's still a bit dark, but I quite like that look for me personally. It is a personal choice. I know some people on, say, on the underside would do more like a sort of medium grey wash, but I actually quite like the dark dirt on this. You can use an oil wash using oil paint and thinners. It does give a really nice result, but I do find it quite smelly and quite oily and grimy, and you do have to be very careful with sealing it down afterwards. So I have my model here. This is the Airfix. This is the Airfix Hawker Hurricane. Do excuse the brown, it's the wrong brown. It's basically a test model. So I have my Flory Models dark dirt wash. I have an egg cup just because I'm going to decant some of this into there. It's much better to do it this way because you really don't want to be dipping a brush into this because it's quite sensitive to other impurities. So I've got this cheapy brush, and then we're basically just going to dip our brush in. So it's worth noting, before you do this, you do need to seal this with a varnish. I use Pledge, just because I find it's a nice varnish to kind of seal all that detail in. So I'm going to load up the brush and just literally, not being too careful because it really doesn't matter, and just brush it over the entire model. Pick some up from over here because I did put quite a lot on over there. Just brushing it on all over. And now here comes the tricky part. I've got to try and do the underneath. But what I'm going to do is, because it doesn't really matter that if it drips or whatever, make sure you don't do it over your carpet, because you don't want your missus going crazy at you. I'm going to shove it in the wheel wells as well. Yeah, get it? Well, I'll get my coat then, shall I? Just going to put it everywhere. That's what she said. Right, we'll put it in there as well. In there, and in the little up the back pipe. Right, so going to leave that for around about 20 minutes. Basically just leave it until it's dry, then we'll come back and I'll show you how to wipe it off. Okay, so I've let this model dry for around about 30 minutes, but it being a clay and sort of water-based system, you could leave this drying for a couple of weeks, couple of months. It doesn't matter, it will still come off with just water. So I've got my paper towel, I've got my little receptacle of water here, and all we need to do is, I'll start with a dry towel, but just so you can see what happens. So it is slowly coming off. Because I'm always worried a little bit about bringing off sort of paint, I just dab it in some water, just a little bit. Squeeze it, and you'll need to use kitchen towel rather than, don't use toilet roll because that will just disintegrate. So just kind of, I'm just gonna, you can see it sort of coming off, but it actually stays in the panel lines, which is exactly the effect we're looking for. And you can leave a bit on if you want to, sort of wipe that way so it looks like it's the direction of airflow. If you want to leave that sort of dirtier and give it a sort of weathered and worn look, you can do that. But personally, I like to get as much of the pigment off the surface as I can, and just leave it in the recesses. So basically just work around the model doing that. I'll do the underside because that's a good contrast, actually, it being a lighter colour. So again, my towel is just slightly damp. It's actually quite dirty, so I'll use a different bit. So it's just water and a paper towel. As you can see, that comes off really easily. Gives you that nice effect. Let's try an area around sort of here. It's one of these systems where you can kind of take it back as much as you want to, and then if you have taken it back a bit further than you want to, just apply more wash and repeat the process. It's so easy, really is easy. When you get areas like this, I just sort of lick a cotton bud and just bring those back a bit because I don't want that to be quite as dark as that's. Don't mind a bit of an outline. There you go. You know, you can get into the corners with a cotton bud a lot easier than you can with a paper towel. So, but I will continue working on this and then join me at the end for the final look. Right, okay, so I've removed as much of the wash as I want to. I'm quite happy with that. It is still shiny from the gloss coat that I gave it. And that is one thing to bear in mind before you do this process. It's highly recommended that you put a gloss varnish on the model, unless you want a really dirty, grimy look. Perhaps on some armour or something, a matte varnish would work. But yes, I'm quite happy with how this looks right now. I think it looks quite good. I've left quite a lot of grime in the wheel well bays. I might actually just remove a bit more of that from inside there. But these areas did get pretty dirty, I'm sure. All the oils and sort of fluids that fly around with the wheels going up and down. But also, you can kind of do a bit of streaking with this stuff. If you just get some dirt, you can actually, you can see that, but you can actually, at this point, do a few streaking effects. Don't forget to go in the direction of airflow. You know, you don't have to at this point, but yeah, I'm happy with that. So yes, there is a really super simple way to do panel lines, I think. Let's turn that down a bit because it's quite bright. I think that looks quite nice. It's quite a stark contrast on the bottom, and I know some people won't like that, but on a 1/72 scale model, I think it kind of adds a nice effect. So there we are. So again, Flory Models Dark Dirt Wash. I can highly recommend it. It's super simple. And now that that's done, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and give that another coat of varnish. And I used, it's called Johnson's Clear, but it's been rebadged as Pledge, and I'll show you the bottle. This is the stuff that I have used. I bought this on eBay, no, not eBay, Amazon. It's about £15, but this will last years, so it's expensive, unfortunately, because people got wise to what it's used for by us modelers. And it's pretty handy for doing gloss coats for washes and decals and stuff. So yeah, hope this has been of some use to you guys, and until next time, take it easy.